Good morning, good morning. Morning, Facebook. Morning, my friend Lois. This is Monday again, Monday Musings. Welcome, everyone, and hope you had a great weekend. We are starting a new week, and so it's just like it comes by so fast. The weekend is over and Monday is here, and before you know it, Tuesday's already on you, and Wednesday. It's like the weeks are going so fast. I mean, I was just thinking the other day that how Christmas was just around the corner, and now we're already on our way, well on our way to March. And it just seems like, where has the time gone already in this new year? Where has the time gone? It's just like movement, 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 run, run, run. And then you turn around and like 2 months have gone by already. It's just amazing to me. I mean, do you feel kind of like a little overwhelmed, like I'm a little overwhelmed right now?
It's definitely been zipping by.
Yeah.
I'm experiencing some, I don't know, I'm not too overwhelmed, I wouldn't say, but I've been realizing I'm not necessarily that person that tends to look at it all until it smacks me in the face.
Yeah. So you kind of push it in the back. It's out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. Is that how you really?
Yeah, and then I realized, oh no, I have a lot of things to deal with. So there are definitely ways in which I'm trying to make things easier for myself. So like right now, I'm choosing 3 things a day to tackle. And that's actually been harder for me than I thought it would be.
To just tackle the 3 things?
To pick 3 things.
Ah.
Like, oh, which 3 things? Because you know that the list is so long. Which 3 things? And if I get those 3 things done, then that's great. I can move on to the massive list.
Right.
But there's the desire to just smash the list, and sometimes that can get a little overwhelming.
Yeah. So one of the reasons why I'm feeling a little overwhelmed for myself is that I'm just doing a lot of things. I'm just kind of on a roll with the business, with something else that I'm doing, a little contract I'm doing right now, and just other things that I'm doing, and just trying to keep all the balls in the air at once. And it's just, I want to go back to a simpler, less frazzled, more relaxed way of being, and get up a little later, not have to be up at like the crack of dawn, going to bed really late, so I'm not getting the full sleep. It would be nice to have a more streamlined, more relaxed way of life for me right now. I mean, it's just a couple things that's going on that I'm trying to deal with at the same time, and it's just kind of overwhelming. And you lose track of things. You just lose track of things, and you get less done, I think, because you're trying to do too much, and so you don't know. Like you said, you're trying to pick the prioritize and make the most of all the things that you have to do, and from that mountain of things that you have to do, you've got to pick something and hope the mountain doesn't just crumble down on you. You've got to start pulling, like Jenga. You start pulling things out to do, and then you hope the whole thing doesn't just topple over. So it's just kind of prioritizing, kind of making sure that the things that are important still get done, and the things that are, the things that need to keep everything else stable get done. And then you do the little things. There was an experiment that one of my professors did at school, and it was basically to kind of demonstrate or illustrate how we fill up our lives with all these little things, and some of the things are not really that important, but we just feel we have to get them done. So he had a jar on the table, and he had some stones and some sand. And some of the stones were big, some were small, and then this, sand in a bottle of water. And so what he did was he said, so these stones, the big ones, he put in first. He says, well, these represent, the important things in your life. And he put those in, and he kind of filled it up to the top with the big stones. And then he says, well, can you think of some little things that you have to get done that needs to go in the jar as well? So people started calling out things, little things that they needed to get done, or things that weren't as big as the major things. And he put a few more stones in between the big ones. And then he says, well, can you get any more in there? And they said, no, it's full. And he says, well, yeah, you can. And then he starts to pour the sand in. And so the sand goes in between the small stones and the big stones. And then he says, can you get any more stuff in? And he says, and they said, no, it's full now with all the sand. And he says, no, you can actually get more in. And he pours the bottle of water in. And so the water goes in between everything else, and then he fills it up. And he says, well, this is our life. He says, we fill it up with all the unimportant things, the little things, and the most important things we don't prioritize. We stuff it with all these little things that take up all the room, when we need more room for the bigger things to happen and take place and be completed. And so we just put all this little stuff, we do this, we do that, and instead of the main things or the major things we're supposed to do, we do all these other things and fill up the space, and just kind of get overwhelmed with all the little things when we need to prioritize better. And it was just a really good illustration of how we pack this in, pack that in, pack all these little things in, and try to get the big things in after the fact. No, you got to prioritize, and then you should be able to fit it all if you do it right. So it was just a good illustration of how you think you're overwhelmed, but then you've got this to do, and then you've got that to do, and you've got something else to do, and you trying to pack it all in a day. So just prioritizing is important. Keeping a calendar, I guess, is important. So some of those things are made to help us stay on track and stay level-headed, as opposed to running around like a chicken with our heads cut off, right? So I thought that was a really good illustration of how we pack our lives with everything, big, small, little, insignificant, important, all the stuff, as opposed to trying to pick the things that are important to fill our lives with. And then the other things will come, you'll make room for those.
Yeah, so let me ask you, what is that thing that you most want to do?
Like in a day, or you talking short term, long term?
Like if you had all the money and all the things
Oh,
all lined up, what is that thing that you most want to do?
that's a good question. I would be traveling all over the world. I'd be traveling. I'd be discovering new places. I would be having a group of my people with me, in terms of the people that I coach or that I help, and all the people that I care about. We'd be going on food trips to different countries and going on food tours. And I just see myself traveling. I just see myself traveling, meeting different people from different places, experiencing new foods, just really tasting life as well as the food, that's what I foresee for myself in the future, is just traveling and exploring and discovering new places and new people and new things and new foods. That's my ultimate.
I see you doing that already, in how you cook and how you just make meals and make them a part of your world.
Yeah.
Are there more ways that you maybe think that that may help you with the overwhelm, just bringing in pieces of what you want ultimately?
I think the things that are overwhelming are the things that are present day, right here, right now, that need to get done. So when those things are taken care of, then you can kind of clear the path, I think, for the stuff that needs to come down the road. But I guess you do have to have a vision, though, of where you are going, so that you can kind of move towards that vision. But then, things get in the way sometimes of you getting to that end goal, because the immediate things that are here right now are the things that are kind of slowing you down and taking up your time and your energy, when the goal is there. And so you need to start moving towards that, as opposed to trying to handle what's going on right here, right now. You need to start moving in that direction. And so it's sometimes it can get a little hard, and you lose focus and you lose sight. So I think what's overwhelming for me right now is the present day stuff that needs to happen, to kind of help me on that road to the end goal. So it's just clearing a path. It's just being able to clear the path, cut the brushes and cut the, the trees so you can see the path in front of you. And that's where I am. I'm in the thick of things right now. I'm in the thick of the bushes right now, and I need to swath the path through all of that so I can see, to the other side and get there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I still have this goal in mind, and I know that everything I do eventually will get me there. That's the plan. That's the goal. To eventually be able to set things up so that I can not have to go into an office or not have to, work for someone else, but be able to be self-sufficient, which I'm in the, actually pretty much doing now. I'm self-sufficient and trying to make that more effective and more streamlined and more automated, so that I can do what I want to do. So once I get it all set up and have it automated, then it's going to leave me more time and space to do the things that are going to make me really, truly happy, which is to travel and meet new people and, create new dishes and those kinds of things.
Yeah, I think it's really cool when your dreams actually become goals, which actually become plans.
Yeah.
And then start to be actually fun, and you can actually see them become a reality in your life.
Yes.
And that's when it gets really cool and interesting.
Yeah.
When you
That's what we live for, right? We live for the dreams becoming reality, and for the dreams manifesting, and all the work that you're putting in come to fruition. And so that is the goal. That is the goal. And it just gives you the impetus to keep going and to keep moving. But then when you start to see the fruits of your labor, that's satisfying. That's really satisfying. So yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. Anything worth having takes work. And so if you don't have to work for it, you probably won't appreciate it. So anything that is worth having, you have to put in the work. You have to do the work. So let us know what you think about today's topic, overwhelm and streamlining your life and manifesting your dreams and realizing your dreams and working towards your dreams. And how do you get it all in so that you actually get to your end goal, as opposed to having it be a wish and a dream forever. You want to be able to get to that dream and have it manifest and become a reality. So what are we doing in terms of moving towards that goal? And what are we doing to help us get to that end goal, now, as opposed to way back when, or, in the future, far future somewhere. You want to bring those dreams closer and have them be real in our lives and manifest. So what are we doing to have that happen? So let us know what you think.
I'm doing 1, 2, 3 things a day.
3 things.
I don't know if that helps anyone, but that's my plan currently.
That's a good plan, actually, to pick 3 things, get those 3 things, then at least you've got 3 things accomplished and finished for the day. That's a good plan.
It gets you rolling, and if you get those done, then you usually get 3 more things done. And
that's a good plan. That's a really good plan. So thank you for joining us again today, Facebook, and everyone out there who's listening. And just again, let us know what you think of getting a game plan in place or prioritizing your life so that you can realize your dreams today as opposed to tomorrow. Just let us know what you think and what your thoughts are in terms of that. And we'll see you again next week, same time.
Talk soon.
Have a great week.